It was just like a regular day for us. It was jacking up to maybe about 12 to 14 foot. And then I saw him attack this huge wave. It was massive. And he went over the falls. Like, we call it going over the falls. And I looked around and he was gone. I paddled so hard, to get to him. And I was just looking around and trying to find him. By some miracle, I felt something that it felt like hair. So it was his head, and I grabbed his hair and I pulled as hard as I could, right? And then I looked at his face and it was gone. His face was like purple and his eyes were rolled up in the back of his head. I saw him die.
As soon as I saw JM disappear and jumped in and started paddling out to him.
And then Justin finally gets to us and he just goes, give him to me, just give him to me. So I toss him over to Justin.
I was able to hang on to him and keep swimming, just swimming back, kicking towards shore, keeping his head up, but he was blue, his skin was all blue.
And I knew at that point it was a question of time. When I eventually got to him, it must have been already like 2 minutes or close to 2 minutes that he wasn't breathing.
Tapos when we got to higher ground, I started CPR kay JM. And then si Justin yung bumubuga.
Maybe 5 rounds breathing. Saw color come back into his skin, right? Because the oxygen is getting back in, but he's still totally unconscious.
Justin was performing CPR for more than a minute and a half before we had a faint breath na parang humihinga siya.
Yeah, he started breathing, and at that point we're all just like, yeah, come on, JM. We're all screaming at him.
And then I drove like a madman out of that place kasi I know that time is gold. Mahirap na yung sitwasyon ni JM. We need to get him to proper care. When we got to the hospital, medyo frantic kami.
They intubated him, but the doctor there was doing the best she could, but she was trying to care for, there was other people coming to the hospital. It was super hectic.
At one point, we were the one giving him oxygen, pumping oxygen in him kasi nga walang nurse.
The head physician there, the head doctor there at that clinic, she even told us, she said, you know what, don't waste your time here. Your friend needs the proper assistance and we can't provide that assistance for him here.
And syempre, frantic driving just to get to Manila. I think yun yung time na nakausap yata ni Migs yung family ni Kibs ni JM
I was working that time, biglang may dalawang friends ni JM na nag-message sa akin. Sa Facebook nga lang yun Parang, Pam, please contact Migs or Hutch. JM got into an accident and I'm like...
So finally we got a hold of Pam and I spoke to her on the phone. I said, Pam, you have to contact Tita Baby immediately and you guys have to get here now.
Exactly 8:18 p.m. I received a message that JM had an accident. So there. Siyempre nagulat ako.
So they were en route na sa Manila and they were finding a way to bring si JM here sa Medical City.
Well, Tita started coordinating with the hospital here, Medical City. And they were already trying to coordinate some kind of medical assistance that would meet us along the way,
So the concept was, yung team namin and yung team nila will meet halfway. so that we can take over the patient's case, bring higher level of care, stabilize the patient further, no?
May briefing kami before kami umalis. Iniisip na namin yung worst case scenario sa time na yun. So ano dapat pwedeng gawin, ano dapat pwedeng bigay na gamot, na intervention.
Yung kailangan namin, nilalagay na namin sa stretcher namin. Para in case na pagdating namin doon, bababa namin yung stretcher na nandun na lahat ng gamit.
Scenario building kasi is important in pre-hospital care. You can't really know what's there, but you make scenarios of what you expect based on the data what you have. No? Worst case scenario, naisip ko, baka unstable siya. Totally unstable. Baka hindi siya as stable as it would seem. Pero best case scenario is stable enough siya na we'll only need to support the ventilation or the oxygen, yung breathing niya.
He was having trouble breathing because the blood was clogging up. We couldn't siphon it out, so it's just gurgling at this point. His breathing was starting to really go downhill. Just tons of blood coming out everywhere. The whole inside of the ambulance was just like splattered in blood because he's coughing. Honestly, thought he was done. I had like, it's sad to say, but like I didn't think he was gonna make it.
Then I spoke to the driver, yung isa sa mga friends. Sabi ko sa kanya, let's meet at a gas station. The first gas station you see, stop. Sakto lang sabay kami dumating, no? Pag ganun sila, pag ganun kami. So nag-adjust. Pagbukas ng driver, dugo, blood everywhere. JM was there, lying down on a spine board. They had the oxygen monitoring saturations. It was 80. So, assessment, sabay-sabay. Airway, you check kung pag nagbigay ka ng air dun sa bomba, dapat sa lungs papasok. Krok, krok, krok. Parang chan yun. Krok. Chan nga. Sabi ko, wait, mali, na-dislodge yung tube. So I told Doc CJ, the relative, Doc CJ, the tube is dislodged. We have to extubate kasi walang hangin na pupasok sa lungs niya. So I removed the tube, just removed it. We started ventilating or giving air via the mask. True enough, when I started giving air sa mask, umakyat from 80, 85, 89, 90, 95, 99. So meaning to say, okay siya. Kaya nabibigay adequate yung air. So okay, sige. Nag-seizure siya. So yung seizure ni JM at that time is buong katawan shaking talaga. Kasi nag-clench siya ng teeth. So sabi ko, Chris, Renz, bigay tayo ng anti-seizure medications. Si Chris had to give it through the window of the ambulance. So nabigay na, nag-abate naman yung seizure. JM was still clenching his teeth. I only have like a minute, seconds to decide if I will do it there or do it in the ambulance. So sabi ko, transfer. They had to pull his spine board out midway, transfer him sa gurney namin, then lipat sa ambulance namin. Then I decided na, okay, I can't give the advanced airway kasi he's still clenching his teeth. But the oxygen saturation, so yung level ng oxygen niya was 95. The blood pressure is okay. Regular naman yung kanyang ECG reading. And then I asked the Cebuche transport operator, how fast can we get to the hospital? Sabi niya, within 15 minutes. Sige, sakay na tayo. Takbo na natin. Quick call lang sa hospital na we're coming and he's not stable. Prepare everything. I had to go through multiple medications in order to give the airway. To a point that I had to paralyze him for like a few minutes. So we did our CT scan, chest x-ray, kung kamusta, sinalunod siya eh. Check namin yung mga other lab tests niya to see if meron kaming kailangan tamain, baguhin, gano'n. Then of course we called critical care medicine in, and we called neurology in, and we called all the other experts we need.
So my task was to establish a central access so that we could deliver the medications, the fluids and what have you that JM needed to be resuscitated.
The patient, JM, was having seizures. So he was actually having status epilepticus. Seizures that are not controlled even with medications. And it is due to the injury to the brain. Status epilepticus actually has high mortality rate. So that's why I needed to see JM kaagad, no?
We need to make sure that his brain is protected. There was no oxygen for a certain amount of time. So we did the targeted temperature therapy, meaning we induced hypothermia. Parang we're trying to rest the brain so that no further damage occurs.
We doctors, particularly with emergency medicine in the ICU, we are hoping against hope that this will be a good outcome. Simply because there are those patients who are, for the lack of a better term, up to God whether we get them out of the ICU in functional state or not.
Pagpunta ko dun sa ER, I thought that time he was gonna, yun na yun. Parang, the bump was like, she called me because she thought na, yun na yun. We have to say bye or at least talk to him, ganun.
Your will be done. If you want to take him, it's okay. Walang resentment. I'm okay. Just, if you have to take him, it's okay with me.
With him in and out of the ocean. Be that rhythm and out to the sea. Be that salt and water, it's electric. Composition inside you and me.
We have high mortality rates for these kinds of cases, no? One article actually says that the death rate or mortality rate goes as high as 75 to 92%. So whenever JM visits me in the clinic now, I call him actually my miracle baby, no? Because he should have been dead already. But here he is, enjoying life, going out with friends.
1 in 1,000 kind of recovery. That we get this kind of recovery to the extent that we can talk to him, he can play the drums, he can dance.
So he is getting back. And yeah, God willing, yes. He's improved a lot through the help of everybody. Everybody, yeah. That's why yung team ng doctors na to, believe ako.
Glad to see him doing what he's doing now, being able to go back to what he wanted. Sinasabi nga ni JM in his talks that this is my second life. Okay? So ganun ang kanyang thinking. This is my second life and there's a reason for it and I'm going to do something, as a result of giving this chance to have a second life.
This is the reason why we went into medicine. To have someone walk out of the hospital, that's really fulfilling for any physician.
The thing about the emergency department is, of course, patients come and go. Of course, we save lives, but kami rin yung parang naka-receive ng grim news, had to tell people ganito yung nangyari sa relatives nila and all that. But to see someone from really a bad state to recover at that amount of time and at that level of functionality is very, very inspiring.
In the 4 minutes that my heart stopped beating, it's just like that was all, my whole life was taken away from me, and then coming back, it's just like, wow, it's huge, it's bigger than the lottery or whatever. It totally flips your point of view of life, and And I guess I gotta thank everyone. Like I said, it's like I don't have enough thanks to give to every single person in this whole army of people supporting. So yun lang.